Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody joining us. Welcome back to the channel. This is Khoisan Talks. On this channel we talk everything Khoisan, Khoisan spirituality, Khoisan religion, Khoisan culture. And my name is Sabecha. I'm a Khoisan girl from Southern Africa, particularly Cape Town. And as most of you know who follow the channel, to those who are back, welcome. And welcome back, and to those who are joining us for the first time, welcome to the channel. And so to those who have been following me, you'll know that I am a Khoisan girl from Cape Town. Khoisan is what is commonly known now as the coloured people of Southern Africa. And so those of you that follow the channel, you know that we, the Khoisan, the indigenous, the Aborigines, we lost our land to colonization. And we've been negotiating, and we've been asking, and we've been wanting our land back after apartheid ended. Apartheid ended for many, but not for the Khoisan, not for the Aborigines of this country, not for the indigenous people of this country. In South Africa, I'm still referred to as a coloured girl, which is a derogatory term for a Khoisan person. My origins are Griqua, Gorigokwa, Bushman is my origin. But I am not referred to any of these three names. I am referred to as a coloured. And I still have to tick a box if I wish to fill in an application for a job or a loan or housing or schooling or anything. I need to tick that I'm coloured. And so the coloured have been, or the Khoisan have been, extremely marginalized even after apartheid ended, to a point where we are being excluded from the society. And this is our native lands. This is our inheritance, our rightful ownership. Like all Aborigines from where you are from, you have rightful ownership. If you live in Europe, you have rightful ownership of Europe, if you are European. If you are Asian, you have rightful ownership of Asia, because you are Asian, that is your inheritance. I am African, particularly Khoisan, particularly Southern Africa. So I have inheritance here. This is my inheritance. And so we've been talking to the colonizers who took our land. And they came up with a story as to my people who lived on the land paid a rent in order to be able to farm on the white man's land. My question, making them owners and us the foreigners, the ones renting, making them the owners and us renting the land. There has been no such agreement ever, particularly with my family. There was no such agreement. And if there was such an agreement where my people had to pay rent to the foreigners farming their own lands, my question to you is, who gave you ownership of the land? You are not indigenous to this country, which means when you came here, you had no forefathers here that you could inherit from. This is not your indigenous land. So you were neither born here, neither were your ancestors or your forefathers, meaning before you came, you had no right to any of the land. And so who gave you the land? And then they say, oh no, your forefathers sold the land to us. Where? There's no such evidence of this whatsoever. What there is evidence of is your brutality. The colonizers' brutality, particularly to the Khoisan, the indigenous, the native. How we were murdered. How the land was stolen from us. How we were... The genocide. It speaks of the genocide you inflicted on us, to a point where we eventually had to submit and succumb to your brutality and your murder. But never did we give you permission to our land. Because Khoisan indigenous people do not believe in inheriting a land. We believe God gave us the land. And so for me to sell the land would go against God's laws. This is why when you came here and when indigenous people talk, I love hearing the old people talk, they always say there was no boundaries, there was no borders. We all lived and we all flourished. And this is a prosperous land. And this is why you stole. But again, coming back to my question, if my family paid you rental, who gave you the land? You are not indigenous here. You stole the land with your crooks and your tricks and your languages that we did not understand and your laws that we did not understand, which did not apply to us, which we never thought that you would inflict upon us. And so I find the Western world quite comical when they say that they have freedom. If you do not submit to their laws and their gods and their ways, they make you a slave. They persecute you. And the persecution is still happening in Southern Africa with the Khoisan people. So we pray for better days. We pray for the abuse of power to stop and for truth to out. That the natives and the indigenous people of all lands be given the lands back. With people in Hawaii, the African Americans, the Native Americans, the Aborigines in Australia, the Aborigines in each and on each and every continent where you are, you natives, you original people. I pray you get your land back. This is the time for change. But the lies and the deceit has to stop. And more need to speak up and speak out. Please support our cause. We are Khoisan Talks. Please follow our channel. Like, comment and subscribe. Share our videos. And this is the story of the Khoisan talking, finally. Just so interesting why I named the channel Khoisan Talks. A way to silence us was to extract the top of our teeth. And so we could not speak our native language, the click sound. The click sound originated from the Khoisan. The Khoisan taught the Xhosa the click, the Zulu the click, because they were our inherited family. We are all African, but they are not Aborigines to Southern Africa. But yes, we taught them the click sound, and so they would extract the 4 top teeth. And so the click sound, if you didn't have that palate, you couldn't make the sound, which means you couldn't talk your language anymore, but you could talk their language. And so now we can finally speak out, or I have chosen to speak out and not be silenced on this. The fight of the Khoisan, the fight of the natives, the Aborigines, the original. And so, like I said, to help us in our quest to get our voices back, please like, comment and subscribe, and share this video with people, so that people can get talking, and particularly the Khoisan can get talking and tell our own stories. Peace and blessings, everyone. Have a beautiful day.